It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a black IPA to show you from a small brewery that I've never heard of, never tried before, but gets me super excited on the channel because I still love finding these I live in Barry, South Wales, all the way over the corner of the UK here. I had comments from another beer review I did. It was the Old Ale by Firebird from, of course, Best of British Beer. Same as what, this, let's have a look at it. Grateful Death Brewing, Brew 61, The Beer Fan, Black Bull IPA, a Black Rye IPA, 4.5% ABV, 500ml black bottle. But I had a comment. I had a comment on the YouTube channel on the Old Ale by Firebird saying, I live in the county over from Sussex, I think this company was from, and I have never heard of this brewery and I want to try their beer. And he went on in the comment to say that this is probably a little bit of a problem with the UK beer scene where it's impossible to find every single brewery. It really is. Even if the beer is absolutely fantastic, it's impossible to find it because it's kind of like small regional stuff. But this is where Best of British Beer comes in, because they will find the best beer from maybe the smallest breweries, put it all together in a box and send it to you. Of course, for a price. It's a kind of like a month by month price that you pay for their beer. You can also go to you can buy a 3 monthly club if you want as well. The link will be in the description box of the video. But I know that might seem like a bit of an advert. Probably was a little bit of an advert for Best of British Beer, but I get excited. Even after 13 years of reviewing beer on YouTube, I still get excited when I work with companies like this, because when the box comes through the door, I've got no idea what's in the box. I don't know what it is. I don't know the brewery's names. It's all very exciting for me. It almost takes me right back to when I first started reviewing beer on YouTube 13 years ago, where I go in supermarkets and home bargains and whatnot, and I come across beers and I'd be super excited by them. I'd be like, oh my goodness me, where's this from? Who's it from? How long have they been brewing? Is it a big brewery? Is it a small brewery? All them questions kind of rolling through your mind when you're new and you're excited with beer. It still happens. It still happens when I get a box of beer. Again, repeating myself a little bit here, when I get a box of beer through the door, I've got no idea about the brewery. I've got no idea about kind of where they're from, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I still get really excited. And I think for me, going forward, to keep myself, because I've been doing this for 13 years now, to keep myself super excited in beer, this might be the way forward for me, is to keep my kind of excitement levels really high by coming across breweries that and beers from counties that I've never visited or been or tried before. I love that. I love it. Anyway, on with the beer review. 2-finger tan coloured head. It is kind of like a jet black beer in a glass, but it's got good carbonation as you roll the beer back and forth. My apologies for my excitement. I'm not going to apologise for how excited I am when I come across stuff like this, because it's the reason why I got into beer in the first place, is to try all of these wonderful beers. It's very easy to get into a rut, to jump to Tesco or Asda and Morrison's or Sainsbury's and carry on buying those £3 cans of beer on the supermarket shelf that, quite frankly, and I'm looking at this one here, quite frankly, some of them are awful. Some of them are absolutely awful, and then they're not worth the £3 they're not worth that £3 price. Anyway, aroma on this beer. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. biscuit malt, a little bit of roasted malt, a little bit of chocolate malt coming through. It's hoppy. Being a black IPA, it's lovely and hoppy. Spicy, peppery, great bitterness. Well, there's going to be a great bitterness when I taste it. I can smell that bitterness almost. Yeah, let's get in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, it's like, yeah, my excitement levels just continue to carry on in this beer review. It tastes super. It tastes super. It really is. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a beer. Great bitterness. Great kind of spicy, peppery, hoppy taste in there. It mixes really well with the roasted malt. They've added a level of roasted malt in the beer to colour the beer. And it's almost giving off flavours of licorice. Some real toasted bread flavours coming through. Bit of pipe tobacco smoke there. A little bit of an astringent bitterness coming through from the roasted malt. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And then that hop. It's like a battle between the roasted malt flavours in the beer and the hops in the beer, and it's a great battle because it's so kind of intense, and the mouthfeel is great. Let's get that mouthfeel. You can see the mouthfeel. Look at that head retention. Look at that. Really creamy, rich mouthfeel. A little bit of carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. Maybe they brewed the beer with oats. I'm going to take a guess at it. I've not looked at the back of the label. I don't even know where this brewery's from. And again, that's part of the excitement for me now. I've reviewed nearly 10,000 beers. And it's like anything in life. And I don't mind saying this. I spent the best part of well over a decade being a carpenter. And for the first few years of being a carpenter, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then the excitement wanes. And it just becomes a job. And then you fancy a change. Then you fancy doing something else. So I started reviewing beer on YouTube. But again, if I challenge anybody out there to drink nearly 10,000 beers and to keep those levels of early excitement going. I've seen many YouTube channels. They come along, they're super excited, drinking the beer, pouring the beer, and I love it. I love watching them. But from my own experience, I go, right, I'm going to come back to this channel in 6 months' time or a year's time, and I'm going to see, just have a look at this channel, see how and you see it's a completely different channel from when they started. It almost becomes like, here's the beer, let's open it up, let's pour it, smell it. It becomes like you never want it to become like almost like pre-recorded, but it becomes pre-recorded. You're showing the can, you're showing the beer, you're showing the liquid, you're smelling the liquid, you're tasting the liquid. What else is there to say about it? And to keep my levels of excitement going forward, I think it's going to be all about trying to find small breweries like this. Maybe, I'll chat with Best of British Beer. I've worked with them before, probably 8 years ago. They sent me a few boxes of beer. What happens in life, everybody becomes busy. I was busy, they were busy. We've spoken again now in October 2023, and they've sent me a box of beer again. Maybe maybe I work with these guys really, really closely from now on, and just ask them to send me. Well, I can ask them now, can't I? If I'm watching, ask them to send me the most smallest, most peculiar like breweries out there, you know, and keep that level of imagination going. That's what I'm trying to say. This is beautiful beer. That is a beautiful, look at the head retention. That is beautiful beer. One of the UK's hidden gems. And before last week, before the box was sent, I didn't even know they existed. Grateful Death Brewing, Brew 61, the Beer Farm, Black Bull IPA, Black Rye IPA, water, malted barley, hops, wheat, rye and yeast. Malted barley. They're from Greenfields, Upton Warren, Bromsgrove. I don't know where Upton Warren is. I've never been to Bromsgrove. But I love it. I love it. I think that's fantastic. That for me is one of the best black IPAs I've tasted in a long, long time. Great head retention. Great look to the beer. Great aroma. Great taste. That is a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.